What is going on, everybody? Todd here, joined by DorkyRae and Thrabalen of Thrabalen Gaming. How are you two doing this evening?
Doing all right.
I'm doing fine.
You're doing good? Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Great to be back, of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Two weeks in a row.
Some kind of record.
Yeah, right.
Feels like it.
I mean, how many weeks was it between? Oh, by the way, I also found out that I was completely wrong when I was talking about in the last episode when I talked about the old pod errors, how we did 2 episodes. We did 3.
We did.
We
One
did.
never made it to air.
No. That was episode 4. We had the first episode, which was our Captain America Civil War episode.
Okay.
We had episode 2, which was bad game movies.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
Oh yeah.
And then number 3, which was Ghostbusters 2016. But yeah, so yeah, I mean,
blocked the bad game movies from my memory because I think I was quiet for like the all but maybe 5 minutes of that.
arguably most of us were.
You talked a lot, Todd,
I
about Ball. What's his face?
U-Ball.
Oofball.
U-Ball.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Ugh.
Yeah.
The Michael Bay of video game movies.
No. I'm having bad like PTSD flashbacks of like his films.
But Dungeon Siege was great.
Oh, so was Blood Rain, right? I just found it to have a sex scene, and that just there was a sex scene. Yes. Yeah. Good fucking job. Do these characters know each other? No. He just visits her while she's in a cage, and it just happens.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's no correlation between the two. No. Just wanted it to happen. Nope. Done.
Wow.
Fuck them.
Perhaps one of them should be a pizza boy, yes?
This is during medieval times, yes? Yeah?
Wait, it was during medieval times and he had a pizza boy?
No. It's... No.
Okay. I haven't seen any of his movies, so...
You're lucky.
That wasn't based on his movies, but okay.
Oh, well... Oh, no.
It was, that was based on another genre of films that Ray would not watch.
Horror?
Extra sausage.
Let's just go with horror, because it would be horrific for you.
Okay.
Yeah. I could see the wheels turn. Like, what kind of film is he talking about?
No, I'm pretty sure it's
you've got it. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you said it first thing. The characters having sex, right?
Yeah. Yep. That's Pizza Boy.
Becomes something of a meme. Yeah.
I mean.
So we're recording this a little bit later than we plan on doing it. Also, we're kind of working out the new schedule for the Precipice Podcast Network. We're going to start our week off with pod errors on Wednesday. So it'll be Wednesday that then you guys heard the announcement, right? About our 3rd show on the network.
Mm-hmm.
Brothering Around is going to be our our Thursday show, and then Gimmick Bag on Friday. And then
so that's completely changed? No, that's not completely changed.
No. It's just shifting Tuesday with Wednesday for pod errors.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I figure if
for some reason I thought that Brothering Around and Gimmick Bag were flip-flopped.
No. No, we the typical record schedule for us is, this as long as it's done by like Tuesday, so it can be up and whatnot. We're good on that. Brothering Around, it's we record on Wednesdays, and Gimmick Bag we record on Thursdays.
Oh,
so
okay.
Those are out the next day. But yeah. Before we continue, let's kind of do a little bill paying, so to speak. If you guys like Loot Crate, you guys can sign up. It does help support the Precipice Podcast Network. Link in the show notes. Or if you're on the Twitch channel, you could just click in the panels, little Loot Crate thing. Boom, there you go. As well as shop.spreadshirt.com/Precipice Podcast. You can get yourself some really cool t-shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies and such there, which is really cool. Very excited to be able to offer that for the different shows. I know we're gonna have Gimmick Bag and Pod Errors merch on there. We actually have a new Pod Errors shirt, which has the purple and gold kind of spray painted slant logo, which is pretty cool.
Have we seen that one?
You might have.
I don't know.
You might have. You probably checked the Spreadshirt store and see that.
Yep.
But yeah, so we do have those. New shirts will be coming every now and then. It's not going to be super crazy in the ways of like, oh my god, now we got to have a new shirt out because we're on episode 3. You know, we're on episode 2. This is the second episode of the reboot. But I mean, last week we did a really good episode on RPGs, and I mean, I was very pleased with it, the way it went. You guys seemed very pleased with the way it went as well.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so.
And before we started, we were actually talking about RPGs again, and that was a thing. But as we record this weekend, Black Panther hits theaters, right?
Yes.
Indeed.
So that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome.
I have no clue when I'm going to see it.
Yeah, same here.
No idea yet.
Same here. I mean, that's just the world I live in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know for me, I have to wait until the Olympics are over for me to start watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again.
Yeah.
I myself am not watching the Olympics. There's only 2 sports that matter to me in the Olympics, and that is hockey and women's curling, because it is a majestic sport that people just, it seems so easy, but it's very complex. I mean, you don't watch it either, right?
I am not watching the Olympics for many reasons. Partially because of what you listed. Partially because the network showing it is not doing a very good job of it. And partially, I guess, semi-political in that the Olympics tend to devastate wherever they're held. But, you know.
Fair enough.
I'm just watching the figure skating stuff.
Hey,
That's it.
I'm not telling anybody else what to watch. If
Yeah.
you enjoy it, that's fine too.
I have an obsession.
That's fine.
That's all
This
right.
is my personal reason.
Yeah, no, legit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like,
But
the Olympics are going on, so when it comes to like a lot of pop culture, especially like television stuff, things are being bumped, so they don't have to compete with it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, there's that. I mean, there were some shows that like one show I enjoy watching is Hell's Kitchen, and I want to say rushed their finale so they wouldn't have their finale airing during the Olympics. So
Did not know that.
yeah, so instead of it like, because usually it's like, oh, you got your 1 hour finale, like they did a 2 hour finale,
Okay.
but it was 2 1 hour episodes. So you could tell that originally they intended to air it the following week, but go, oh fuck, the Olympics.
Right.
Yeah.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I mean, they're on break right now. And they're back after the Olympics, and I mean, are any of you guys watching that, or?
No.
I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. personally. So, yeah.
I I think I started watching the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on Netflix or something.
The first season is the first half of the first season is really
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah, and I just
still loved it, but yeah.
didn't get into it, so I haven't kept up. I keep meaning to go back and try to.
You should give it another chance.
Yeah.
But I also need to watch. I still need to watch The Punisher.
Yeah.
I still need to actually watch The Punisher. I've made it maybe 2 episodes in.
And the second season is just started filming.
Yeah.
No, I'm so behind.
Yeah, I mean, it's Marvel knows what they're doing.
yes.
They really do.
Oh yeah.
Next month, Jessica Jones, season 2.
Oh really?
Yes.
Ooh.
No, I don't work for Marvel Entertainment. Just
There's another one that comes out this year, isn't there?
Daredevil.
Yeah, season 3.
Season 3 Daredevil. But there's another. Is there another movie too?
Oh, there's tons of movies. There's tons of movies.
I mean, there's just a little film called Avengers: Infinity War coming out. So.
Oh, that's okay. See, now I didn't think that was coming out till 2019 or something. I don't
No,
know.
that's part 2 of it coming out.
Actually, that's Avengers 4. They've decided they're not going to do a whole part 2 nonsense thing.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a continuation of that story, though, and we know that.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, every Marvel movie has been a continuation of
the previous
story.
They're all built upon the shoulders of the films that came before.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
I'm looking forward to Captain Marvel next year. So.
And can you believe it's been 10 years since Iron Man?
I know.
Really?
Yes, a decade of the MCU.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ray, welcome to how we feel a lot of the time.
I mean, I was just sitting there and I'm like, don't say it. But I was seriously sitting there thinking, I feel so old. But then I was like, wait. You're both older than...
Yeah.
Well, what is it? Was it this weekend we have Black Panther?
Mm-hmm.
Then, is it May?
Yes.
We have Infinity War.
And Incredibles 2, which is not MCU, but damn well should be.
And Deadpool
yeah, I like
2.
The Incredibles.
Yes.
Oh, Deadpool, that's...
Yes.
Wow. All 3 of those?
Yeah, that's right. Incredibles is in June. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, that's a pretty short span of time for me to have to buy movie tickets.
Yeah.
And then July 6th, we have Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I am very much looking forward to that, too.
And then we're probably going to have another movie by the end of the year. And it's just...
Oh, probably.
I'll definitely have my orange slices ready.
Your what?
Orange slices. Like...
I feel like I'm missing something.
Civil War, Ray.
Orange slices.
To help me regain energy after the marathon of movies that's going to be this year. When Ant-Man grew to Giant Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Afterwards, he basically was exhausted. He was asking for something like orange slices so he could regain his energy back.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, what is it? February 16th, May 4th, July 6th, and then as of right now, March 8th, 2019 is Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I know Balen isn't big on trailers, but I saw the Deadpool 2 trailer.
Yes. Did you?
Okay, so you...
Yeah, I've seen
with
it.
The action figures?
I have not. No.
Yeah. I've seen the trailer.
Okay. It's not spoilery at all, Balen. There's a joke in the trailer where they have Cable's arm is green screened. And Deadpool's like, seriously? This is we haven't gotten his arm done yet?
It's not like
so then he switches to action figures and tries to act it out with action figures.
Well,
and then you hear
done
now.
You're forgetting the little joke of, or actually the dig of, it's not like we had to remove a mustache. Talking about the how they had the CGI Superman in Justice League to remove his facial hair.
Oh, see, no, I didn't know. I didn't get that joke at all. I was so confused about that joke. I was just like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, and it was one of the reasons why Justice League had a slight delay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Apparently, razor technology is too sophisticated.
Oh, why is that?
Because you could just shave facial hair instead of.
Oh, yeah.
red.
No, absolutely.
No,
well,
razor R-A-Z-O-R. No.
So, no, I think what it came down to was initially they filmed with it because they were going to go with that vibe, and then they were just like, afterwards, they're like, oh, we can either do it this way or we can get everybody back together so we can reshoot.
Mm.
So, I mean, it's like, Yeah, I'm looking forward to, well, I mean, we talk this year is going to be a big year for, and I'm just talking about like MCU films. So we really can't even include Deadpool in that. So
right.
Technically not.
Next year,
Can't include Incredibles either.
Yeah, we can't include.
No,
both of
no,
them.
I agree with that. Even though it would mean we'd get a decent Fantastic Four movie in the MCU.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, no fan force stick for you.
Nope.
So next year, March, we have Captain Marvel. May, we have Avengers 4.
Leave it on.
July, we have Spider-Man Homecoming 2. That's a pretty busy year for them as well. So it looks like we're getting 3 a year, give or take. That ain't too bad.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Mm.
And I'm biased being a comic fan, but it's quality entertainment.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is that they're loading them just like for the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Plus
can see
Black
that.
Panther.
I think that, like, if you look at like last year, all right, we had one at the beginning of the year, and then we had one in the beginning, one in the middle, and then we had Thor Ragnarok like at the end of the year. If they were to space it out like that, it's easier to digest.
Yeah,
True.
definitely. And it's easier on the wallet too.
You're not wrong. Considering a standard movie ticket is what, like $15-20?
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't, they want to try to get as much of that summer money as possible. And I mean, the big kickoff on that's going to be Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, hey, remember Avengers? Like, here's a couple, like, 2 months later, like, oh, here is Ant-Man, which Ant-Man's a film that shouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
Arguably, there's a lot of films in the MCU that shouldn't have worked.
Oh, yeah. They are masters of going, hey, how can we take all this weird stuff and put it together so it works?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, arguably, Iron Man should not have worked. And now we look
Guardians
back.
of the Galaxy.
Well, I mean, arguably, there's Guardians. I mean, it was a team nobody really knew.
And now everybody loves it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if you're kicking off like a universe, these interconnected films, and you start with Iron Man, like, that to me doesn't seem like the logical choice to start things off with. It is a risky gamble. I mean, you start with, if you had the rights, a Spider-Man, or you start with you start with one of the big characters.
Mm-hmm.
Captain America.
Yeah, Cap is a great one to start off with. And yeah,
But to be fair, if they had started off with Spider-Man, then we would have had Andrew Garfield as the Spider-Man in the MCU.
well,
No, they would have had someone much different, I'm sure.
yeah. Well, that's one of those things where you get just looking at the overall of if Marvel had, because first off, Marvel wouldn't have cast him.
Yeah.
But we would have also been looking at a very different MCU
Yeah.
as well. We'd be
Yeah.
looking at an older Spider-Man at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
Which would be good. I'm actually a little tired of Teenage Spider-Man. I'm just gonna come out and say it.
I mean,
That's fair.
You're not wrong.
Adult Spider-Man is much more interesting until they've retconned him in by selling his marriage to the devil.
I mean,
I'm not a comic book person. I don't get that reference.
or arguably,
It's what literally happened, Ray.
Okay.
yeah. I mean, he just needed one more day. And why did he give up his marriage? Oh, that's right, to save Aunt May.
Yep, an incredibly elderly woman to begin with. I mean, she is pretty much one trip off the curb from being dead anyway.
Except in the MCU, because she's significantly younger.
Well, and I mean, I look at it from this standpoint of yeah,
they saw you.
if you take, and I lost my fucking train of thought. That's just the way. It's a wonderful thing.
Because something happened.
Yeah, because things happen. And if you guys are watching the video archive on twitch.tv/precipice podcast, you'll know what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have a younger Peter Parker, like a younger Peter Parker than we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it that way, then having a younger Aunt May works.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
but all the Peter Parkers have been high school students.
they've been late high school, though.
Yeah, the Tobey Maguire Peter
Yeah.
Parker, I believe, graduated high school during the films. So,
But he graduated during the first film, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. So,
Mm-hmm. And then Andrew Garfield graduated during
During his final film.
Was it the third? Okay.
What?
there was no third.
There was no third.
There was a planned third,
Yeah. Where they were going to
But
bring the
then-
head of the goblin back or something.
but then Amazing Spider-Man 2 sucked all the air out of the place, so...
Okay, yeah. No, there was Spider-Man. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
3 was Tobey Maguire. 2 was...
Yeah. And
They
the
just
Tom
blur
Holland,
in my mind.
the Tom Holland Spider-Man is set to graduate sometime about 6 years from now. Because,
He's still in middle school.
yeah, pretty much.
Is he?
No, he's in high school.
No, he's just incredibly young seeming, which
Yeah.
it works for that particular
The actor
character.
is younger than the other two.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good move though. Like I don't.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not saying it because like I get why you're just like I'm done with like these young Spider-Men.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, look at the character of Spider-Man, right? Stanley himself has said it. Like any young man or woman could be under that mask, you know? It's this philosophy he's always had with that character where you could in turn put yourself in that role. And by having a younger actor play that role,
Mm-hmm.
you're getting a lot of that sweet kid money.
Well, then here's a crazy idea. Adult Peter Parker, Miles Morales.
Miles Morales would have been a nice little move.
That would have been awesome. I would have been pretty happy with that.
You have 2 Spider-Men,
Mhm.
one for the adult crowd that actually grew up with the character, and one for the newer crowd.
The only so with the way that the MCU is structured, it would be rough to bring in like if they didn't go with Tom Holland and they went with an older actor and did an older Spider-Man. explaining him like how he's been around in the MCU without being in the MCU.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
bringing in that this late in the storyline.
There's
It would have been less easy.
There's nothing saying that an adult couldn't have been bitten. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we would have taken issue with that.
Yeah, but
I personally would have taken issue with that because I would have been like, but no. So I mean, it's possible that they could have done that route, but yeah. I feel like too many fans would have taken.
They would have also had to change
vast amount of issue.
They would have also had to change so much about the character and who he was.
Oh
you know? Because how do you explain an older person being bitten by a radioactive spider? In that sense, like, were they a lab assistant? Like,
Peter Parker has a science background.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, that's true.
He does, but
he also has a news reporter, news photographer background, and he could have been covering the story.
Now, would he have been a news photographer though if he hadn't been?
Exactly.
If he hadn't,
it would be a smaller change, but yeah. But you get what I'm saying here.
Yeah. I mean, there's.
I can see the science background. I don't see him becoming a news photographer without having been Spider-Man. I just don't see that one necessarily happening.
Yeah. No, I agree with Ray 100% on this.
Oh,
one.
yeah.
Because the thing that took off his career there was the pictures of Spider-Man.
Plus, with a younger actor being guided by Marvel, which is the biggest thing. Younger actor being guided by Marvel to play Spider-Man. How many films do you think you're going to get out of him?
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about like crossover. I mean, right now we're getting it's something like 3 Spider-Man films.
Yeah.
3 standalone. Are they gonna not renew? Like, they're gonna try to keep him around for as long as possible. I mean, there's a reason
we might actually get an adult Spider-Man.
We might. I mean, there's a reason we didn't get the Goblin in the first fucking film, besides the fact that he's the character that everybody would assume we would have gotten.
Yeah.
I mean, who do we get? We got Vulture and Shocker. Like, that. I mean, that's.
They did a great job with Vulture, though. I will grant them that.
Oh, yeah.
He was a joke character before that movie. Look, it's an old man with feathery wings.
And they tied it into the MCU really well, you know?
Oh, they did. They did a great job of that.
It being the
cleanup crew.
Yep.
And we also got the Tinkerer out of it, and you know, we got a few pretty
they laid a lot of
things.
good groundwork.
Oh yeah. They laid the groundwork for damage control, which was really cool.
Yes. Very much so.
I love that name drop in there.
Yeah. It was that's something for the diehard comic fans.
Or I guess that. I can't remember how it's set up in the.
You're in the middle.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, like the way it isn't, the way I look at it in Discord, I'm on the left, then it's you, and then it's Balen.
See, I'm on the left, then it's you, then it's Balen.
Yeah. So
well, me, Ray, Todd, in that order, going across from left to right.
So I guess in Discord there, it always puts the
whoever
you
is
and the far left spot.
But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I would like them to eventually bring in an older Spider-Man. And I would not be opposed to, because we got the Venom film coming out. Which people are all up in arms about and shit, because
I have issues, but
well, I mean, one of the big gripes was they showed the symbiote, but they didn't show him in the symbiote. Like,
so I haven't heard of these. I hadn't heard these rumors yet.
Like, and you're just
apparently
like,
has no connection to Spider-Man.
It might, you know.
Whatever. His origin is completely divorced from Spider-Man, which is an odd way to go.
They kind of had to, in a sense, because unless they, I mean, you know the
At least
comics,
we won't have Tobey Maguire doing that weird walk.
Oh God!
and we won't have Topher Grace doing the doing fucking Venom either.
Yeah.
But I mean, we got Tom Hardy, which I'm excited about, because I mean he can act. He can. What's funny is he was attached to another comic book film and pulled out of it. And I know there's a film based on comic book characters that Balen wishes he had pulled out of, but he didn't.
Yes.
Um,
I'm just gonna say I've seen him in 2 films. I didn't like either film. I didn't like him in either film.
Mhm.
I may have just seen the wrong 2 films. I'll admit that.
I know his name, but I can't remember what I've seen him in. Hold on, let me IMDb it.
Of course, you've seen him before.
Oh, was he Bane?
He was
Yes.
Bane.
Oh, he was in Mad Max too.
Yeah.
Yes. And you've named the both of them. Congratulations.
Oh,
Okay.
he was in Inception. I liked Inception.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't seen it, so.
So I mean, arguably with Mad Max, like I love the Mad Max films to begin with. I was not big on Fury Road,
Hmm.
and it more had to do with the fact that they bill it as a Mad Max film,
Mhm.
and
And he plays a supporting character.
and he's and your lead is a supporting character.
That Fury Road is the only Mad Max film that I saw, and I was so distracted.
Yeah.
By, and this isn't usually me. This is usually Storms. I was so distracted by the filming.
Mhm.
Like the way that they like had the really jerky moves, like where it almost looked like it was almost like they were stop motion, but
It's something
not very well. Oh, it was so bad. It was so distracting. I felt like I was high watching that movie.
It's something that they did in the older films as well.
Okay.
But then again, those films were made in like the 70s and 80s. Like,
Yeah.
And I figured it probably had to be something like that, but I wasn't expecting that going in, and
Yeah.
it was so distracting. Like,
it's
so distracting.
I mean, arguably you
To
could
me.
watch that film on its own.
Mhm.
And you just got to call it Fury Road.
Mhm.
And then you'll be like, oh, okay, all right. Well, this isn't a bad movie.
Yeah.
But then you call it Mad Max Fury Road, and you're like,
Mhm.
hey, this character's not really the lead. Like,
Right.
You probably have just actually outlined how the movie got produced in the first place.
it's
I
just
will almost guarantee you that it was Fury Road, and the studio said, we're not going to put money in this. What if we threw Mad Max in? Okay, that'll bring an audience.
so.
Mm.
They'd been wanting to do another Mad Max film for shit since
And they did.
since
I'm sorry.
Thunderdome, and they just hadn't been able to kind of get it off the ground.
Mhm.
Fury Road was actually at one point like a pure Mad Max film, but over time, climates change, so on and so forth. We got to do this. We got to appease these people. We got to do that. Blah blah blah. Let's cater more towards the audience instead of making the film that we want to make. Oh, we got to pander to critics. We got to pander to the audience, and blah blah blah. I mean, you look at the Road Warrior. I mean, the Road Warrior. Well, okay. So in the States, it's called the Road Warrior. In everywhere else, it's known as Mad Max 2. So,
Okay.
but if you were to go that route, like, and call it, if it was just known as Fury Road, I would have been fine with it. Like, and you say, like, it's part of that universe. Okay. You're going to see Max. Okay. We got a new actor playing him because it kind of because Mel Gibson is not only crazy, but he's too old for the role anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just something about those Australian post-apocalyptic car films that I love. It's just, and it's, the Mad Max films have inspired so much as well. You ever hear of a game called Wasteland?
Yeah.
You've heard of Wasteland?
I've heard of it, yeah.
That was inspired by Mad Max.
Oh.
How about a little game called Fallout?
No, never.
You've never heard of Fallout? Okay.
No, of course not. I totally don't own all of the games.
Totally wasn't. So it totally wasn't a Mad Max game originally, and then they lost the license to it. Well, they started making it before they had the license, so they never really lost the license to the Mad Max movies.
They just never got it.
Yeah, no, they so like in the first game, there's like so many references to like Mad Max stuff. Like just even the look and feel of the game is very Mad Max in that sense. I mean, hell, there's armor that's essentially Max's armor, and that's carried through in each game. Like each game, you can find a leather armor where it's got the one full sleeve, and then it's got the other arms bare, and that's like an ode to Mad Max. But I mean, it's just arguably, yeah, the license that they lost, the Fallout franchise lost, was the GURPS license, but let's not.
Yeah.
It's probably for the best.
GURPS is in the RPG?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Amazing RPG, very math heavy.
Very, very math.
I would say I'm pretty sure I have books from GURPS.
I think I may own my weight in GURPS books.
Very easy to do.
Yes, it is.
I've got the fourth GURPS fourth basic set. Is what I've got.
Which is what, something like 20 books, right? I'm joking.
Oh. No, it's one book. It's 580 pages, but
yeah.
Because I think we had maybe talked about doing that, and then I heard it was math heavy, and I was like,
Yeah. I mean, arguably, I'll flat out, if somebody goes, "Oh, the game is, oh, well, explain this game to me." It's like, all right, and you rely a lot on math. I'm like, nope, done.
Yeah.
Nope. I want to have fun and tell a story. I don't need to go back to high school and learn how to do theorems.
Right.
So,
I will say though, if you're looking to make a realistic star system for a game, GURPS Space is the way to go. But,
I mean, that's the funny part, because it's not a bad system. It's just very math heavy. It's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the thing. Something we learned this week, which I shared with you guys in Discord, that AD&D was the Ideal Adventuring Group was based off of the Golden Girls. Does that make any sense to you guys? Because to me, my mind was fucking blown.
Well, I mean, let's face it. Betty White's character of Rose.
Mm-hmm.
You got your idealistic, head in the clouds, wants to be nice. You got your cleric. B. Arthur, there's your standard warrior. Estelle Getty's character is Sophia, old as dirt. That's obviously a mage. And then you've got Rue McClanahan, your typical rogue. Blanche. I mean, let's face it. Nobody can sneak in and out of a bedroom like her.
I mean, arguably, you're not wrong on that one. Though she was bringing them to hers, not the other way around.
True.
So, not rogue, bard then.
Yeah, there you go, bard.
Yeah.
Roll to seduce it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh God, like it's I don't know.
I always thought it'd be amusing if I tried to play a bard.
I think that might be a character role that you could probably pull off.
See, here's what the problem would be. Balen would start to hate me a lot.
There's
because
nothing
I
saying
would
you would have
sing. Oh no, I would sing.
Well, maybe your bard doesn't sing and they just play a lute.
Todd, this is me. I would sing.
You know that a bard would not know 90 songs, right?
Don't care. I will find a way to incorporate them.
This is what we like to call classic lute.
Oh, I saw. Oh no, here we go. So that thing that I shared earlier, it's a fantasy book where, and there, if I remember right, I think that's where it had. Okay, yeah, the bard writes deep emo poetry, constantly quoting sonnets by the most talented musicians of the era. Fallout Bard and Panic at the End. I would absolutely do that.
Nope.
I chime in with the haven't you people ever heard of?
My Apothecary's Romance.
There we go. Yes!
No, Alchemical Romance.
Yeah, there we go.
But I just want to get back to the Venom thing for one moment, because the funniest thing is we haven't even talked about the one rumor that disturbed me the most. Did you hear that Carnage is going to be played by Woody Harrelson?
I'm out.
Carnage?
I'm out. I'm not
played by Woody Harrelson.
I'm not going to go see that movie now. You just made me not go see the movie. I don't care who's playing Carnage. I'm out.
You realize he's not going to have that voice. Nobody could ever do that voice again.
It's a principle of the thing.
It's so, and I kind of agree to a point. I'll probably check it out.
Yeah.
But one of the great things with the Venom character was his hatred for Carnage. So fucking much.
Okay.
So
I can get behind that.
Yep.
So I mean, if they're gonna have Carnage in the film, like, they're not gonna be buddy. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah.
That might be one that I end up waiting for it to come to Redbox or something. I don't know.
I'm with you on that one.
Passion.
Thank you, Marvel Heroes.
You say thank you, Mark. It was mostly you. It was mostly you trolling me.
No, it was us
Both
trolling you.
Yeah.
Because
But I feel like Balen started it.
No, Balen didn't start it. It was people having Carnage as a team up that started it.
I was not the first to do that.
Okay,
although
but in our group,
I got consistent with it.
I was saying in our group, I think you were.
No, I was more consistent with having Carnage as a team up.
Okay. I don't know. Both of you completely ruined it for me.
Because you got to remember, I prestiged Gambit as Death a few times.
That's true.
And I had...
Of course, I didn't have the problem with Gambit that you guys did, so...
You know, Ray, you should be glad then that we gave up when we did, because toward the end they made Carnage playable.
I know.
And you could still have the team up.
I know.
Yeah.
I think I would have been out then. I think that would have been the very last straw for me. Like I'd have been like, y'all can keep playing if you want. I'm out.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I mean,
because I have an attachment to my friends, and I will put myself through whatever.
But to get access to them, didn't you have to buy like 7 Founders packs and like 12 characters or something like that? Oh no, wait, that was only on console. My mistake.
Yeah.
Oh, so stupid.
So, yeah.
Let's not get on that. Let's not get on that. We will follow that rabbit trail for like
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And I was just about to go and just say, like, don't, like, if you're a game dev and you're releasing something, especially in a free-to-play game, don't make people have to buy shit to get access to not just like normal stuff, like not just like, oh, like a special character, but subpar characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like Iron Fist.
Yeah. On console, you had to purchase all the Founders Packs to get access to Iron Fist. You had to make a purchase with G's to get G's or buy a Founders Pack to be considered a VIP that would give you Nightcrawler. Like,
I would have cried. I love Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler was one of my favorites.
And you had 3 weeks to buy Venom.
Yeah.
Before they... Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They actually did this with all new characters they introduced. You had a month, and then they would put them in the vault.
Yeah. And
wow.
There was no way for you to get them until they brought them back out, which isn't going to happen because the game doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But I will say, good on Microsoft for refunding people.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Microsoft did.
Related news, Microsoft is looking at buying EA.
I mean, I've been hearing about this for like the last month and a half.
Yeah.
What is it? There's what is it? They're apparently are rumored to be buying EA, Valve.
Oh, Valve's not going to happen.
What is it? The developers of PUBG, Daybreak Games, like you name a game studio, and apparently Microsoft is ready to.
How am I going to know what to watch on E3?
I would really like to see somebody acquire Daybreak Games and actually make a games company out of it.
Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's I don't understand where this is coming from.
Right.
I think it comes down to initially Phil Spencer saying something along the lines of, you know, how they're working more with the developers. They want to bring more stuff to the console, and not only to the console, but also to PC.
Okay.
Because with Xbox, well, actually, with the Xbox Games division, and that includes both console and PC side. If you if it's a first party game on Xbox, the console, it also has what they call Xbox Anywhere, which allows you to play it on PC as well. And you don't have to buy another copy of the game. So like the game Sea of Thieves, which people are really excited about, that will, when you get it on PC, you'll also get an Xbox version and vice versa. So, okay. Which is kind of cool. I kind of like that idea.
Yeah, I can get behind that for sure.
Great for PS4 users.
Well, you could thank Sony for that.
Yeah, I know.
Because, I mean, arguably Sony has... You know, Microsoft has... Phil Spencer specifically, who has flat out said many times, we want to create an ecosystem where people can play games. That's what that's the business we're in. We're in the business of games.
Uh-huh.
Why are we saying that we can't have these guys play with these guys? Because it's possible. And if you ask Epic Games, they know it's possible because they accidentally allowed people on PS4 to play with Xbox users for Fortnite for, I think, something like 12 hours.
Dude.
Yeah. And Sony,
come on.
Sony had been saying, like, oh, it's impossible to go and da-da-da-da-da. And Epic Games accidentally did that. And
that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Because they wanted to do crossplay. There's a lot of things they want to do crossplay with, like just in general. Like, let's take Rocket League.
Yeah.
Right? So, right now, if you have it on PS4, you can play with PC. If you have it on Xbox, you can play with PC. Now, you will also be able to play it with not only Xbox players will be able to play with PC and Nintendo Switch players.
But not PS4.
When Nintendo is like, yeah, we could do this.
Yeah.
And Sony's
that was
just
one
like...
thing that always annoyed me. Because I think... Who had it on PS4? Because some of us had it on PC. Boo and Connor, I think, only had it on PS4.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone had it on Xbox.
I had it on Xbox.
You had it on Xbox.
You
also had it on PC.
Yeah, but that was also when my video card was out. So I really couldn't be running anything.
That's right. We couldn't play with you and Connor and Boo. We had
the good old 970.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's just it's funny. It really is that it's they make it seem harder than it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Friday the 13th, the game, a game I enjoy. They wanted to do crossplay, but because they couldn't do crossplay between all three platforms, they said if we can't do it between all three, then we're not going to do it. Because that makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Like why set up separate servers where like only Xbox and PC players can play, and then other servers where only PC and PS4 players can play? Like, how about we just have all our servers where everybody can play?
Yeah.
Here is where the issue lies, to my mind. Game companies, you have to understand there is a limited pool of players, and every game is going to claim their slice of the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're going to have to further understand is if you cannot populate your servers, you're going to have to shut the game down. It makes so much sense for you to pool everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. No, and I completely agree.
Yeah.
I mean, even if...
it's like... So, like, I like Xbox games, but I prefer PlayStation exclusive games. Well, I mean, let's be real, because of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
which is going to be multi-platform for the first time.
I know, which I'm happy about.
Yeah,
but at the same time, like there was a while there where I was, before I got my PS4 for Christmas, where I was debating if I wanted to get an Xbox One or a PS4. And my biggest issue was I had heard, I knew there were rumors that Kingdom Hearts 3 was going to be cross-platform.
Yeah.
On both. And so that didn't bother me. The thing that really kicked me over to PS4 was because the 1.5, 2.5, and then the 2.8 only came out on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I could have done. I could have lived without that, because I have Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 for PlayStation 2, and I still have my PlayStation 2 game system. But I mean, honestly, the 1.5, 2.5 is just better, because the gameplay for the first game is the more refined version that they had in 2. And then it's got the other
Chain of
games,
Memories and
the Chain of Memories, which is the only Kingdom Hearts game that I don't like. Is the only Kingdom Hearts game that I don't like, and that's just because of the card system. I hate that card-based fight system.
I mean, arguably, it was originally a Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance.
It was originally a Game Boy Advance game. I mean, it was meant to be an easy
and then I was fine with it, because I had that game on GBA. I absolutely had that game.
And you had no problem with it on GBA.
I mean, I didn't like it,
but you understood why they had to go that route.
Yeah, and it wasn't like now I'm sitting there because I'm trying to do a playthrough of all the Kingdom Hearts games. and I'm stuck on Chain of Memories because I
You're like a Fallout player when they come around to Fallout Tactics.
Probably.
I mean, Fallout Tactics isn't too bad. It's more like a Fallout player that's like, I'm gonna play every Fallout game that came out, and then they're just like, what did I do?
Yeah.
I now have to play Fallout Brotherhood of Steel.
Okay, so I hate to do this on a podcast, but I will be right back.
Yeah, not a problem. But yeah,
you could see someone go out through the door instead of in.
Yeah, now just but no, I mean, in all seriousness, like I get what Ray's saying. Like and I'm going to make this argument once again when Ray gets back. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to consoles, there's two big things to look at. One, where are your friends playing?
Mm-hmm.
And two, where your friends are playing, are there games that interest you? Because there's a lot of multi-platform games, you know. I mean, whether you're into the Call of military shooter or you know, well, I was gonna say Call of Dude Bro, because that's essentially what it is.
Call of Battle Strike.
Call of Battle Strike, yeah. Whether it's that or, you know, just like the sports titles and all the other stuff. I mean, you play the games where your friends are. If it's a game that has multiplayer, unless of course it's exclusive to the console. Like me, I myself have an Xbox One, and I have that for multiple reasons. I mean, arguably, two of the things that sold me on the console to begin with was Sunset Overdrive and Quantum Break. Two games I enjoyed the hell out of. I also realized that because I was going to have the Xbox One before people, I was, you know, because I was that day one person. My friends weren't going to be there, and I knew that. That was not a problem for me. But you meet people that do have the console and such, so you can work that around, but you look at where you want to play your games. You look at what games you want to play. I initially had no interest in the PS4. I now have an interest in the PS4. And that really just comes down to the fact of, oh hey, we have these games that you enjoyed on the PS2 that have been remastered and released on this console using the new engine for the new version of the game. The latest.
What are we talking about?
I was talking about talking about console play and such. And how, for example, and I'm going to reiterate this point because I said while you were gone. When it comes to console play, when it comes to getting a console, there's two things to look at. The games first off, where are your friends playing, and are there games on that console that interest you? Yeah. So, I mean, for me, I was an early adopter. I went with the Xbox One. I knew my friends weren't going to be there, but there were two games that really stuck out as amazing titles that I needed to play, and the only way to play them at that time was on the Xbox One. Arguably, one of those titles, still the only way to play it is on the Xbox One, so good on them. The other title you can play on PC, so.
Okay.
Whereas Ray, for example, might be more interested in the PS4 because of them remastering the Spyro the Dragon trilogy.
Yes, I've heard about that.
I mean, arguably, I didn't hear about that until just now, and that does have me kind of excited. Yeah. However, you do realize it's going to be like Crash Bandicoot in the sense that when they remaster it, they're going to retune it as well, so the game's going to seem 20 times harder than it was initially.
Oh, I'm sure. But, I mean, to be fair, though, let's see, the Spyro the Dragon game that I played as a child, because we only had one. We only owned one. and it was Ripto's Rage.
Ripto's Rage.
Yes.
I want to say that was the second game?
Possibly. But I mean, when I played it as a child, I thought it was difficult. So maybe it'll have that added nostalgia.
Mm.
But no, the reasons that I got PS4, because I knew that you had an Xbox One.
Yeah.
And I was really tempted to get an Xbox One because I wanted to be able to play
Sunset Overdrive?
Oh, yes, Sunset Overdrive.
The game that's still an exclusive on the Xbox One.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I really wanted to be able to play that, and I wanted to, I like playing with my friends.
Yeah.
But
no, absolutely,
the thing,
I understand that.
Oh yeah. The thing that tipped me over, well, for one thing, the thing that tipped me over with the PlayStation was my parents bought it for me for Christmas. But so there was the Kingdom Hearts Simi exclusivity. But then there was also the Nathan Drake collection, the Uncharted.
Which,
games.
I mean, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I can completely and totally understand that. It comes down once again to where are my friends?
Yeah.
And are there games that I actually want to play?
Mm-hmm.
And at that point you look at exclusives because typically a lot of games are going to have, a lot of them are cross-platform, I mean, not cross-play, but they have, you'll have a version on the Xbox, you'll have a version on the PC, you'll have a version on the PS4, maybe you'll get one on the Switch eventually that'll run like shit and they won't update properly. I mean, maybe that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at you, 2K. I'm looking at you. You released WWE 2K18 on the Switch. It's had 2 patches and it's fixed absolutely nothing. People are pissed.
I bet.
Understandably.
Yeah. But I mean, and initially I had no interest in getting a PS4.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was my prerogative. There was nothing that grabbed me in the sense of saying I need to have this. If I knew what I know now, I might have waited out on the Xbox and gone with a PS4.
Mm-hmm.
And the big reason for that comes down to a little series called Yakuza.
Mm.
I played the first one on the PS2. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I never played the second one. And then by the time the third one came out, like we were already in the PS3 and Xbox 360 era. So
yeah.
It happens. But apparently Sega said that Yakuza's a game that is on their list to bring over to PC. And I am excited.
Yeah.
Because it'd be so good.
Fans been waiting. They're going to give their left pinky for that one.
But yeah, I mean...
So I will say... go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, like, with those games, like, they just released with the Yakuza games, they released a remaster of 1 on the PS4. We got the 6th game coming out on the PS4. And then we have a remaster of 2 coming out on the PS4. So, 3, 4, and 5 are on the PS3. So it's like, But what were you going to know?
I was going to say that another thing that PS4 has going for it is I've got PS4, Storm says PS4, Boo and Connor, PS4, and so does Rainey. So, I mean, that's...
Yep, the where your friends are thing.
Yeah, legitimately, that's really what it comes down to. And I mean, to me,
granted, I don't play with any of them, but
you have the option to.
Yeah,
that's the
I have
thing.
the option to. most of my my PS4 is primarily used, like even more than Kingdom Hearts. I use it for Netflix and Amazon Prime.
I mean, right now my Xbox is used for, because I mean I have a bunch of games on it, so I got the games, which I'll do a stream with one of those occasionally. Like what I've been trying to do is let's see what I did there for in a second. Fridays I try to go through my backlog and play games I haven't, and I call it Try Day Friday. So
try to do okay.
Yeah. Yep. It's Try Day. So I mean that's what I try to do. It doesn't happen all the time, because then I'll be like, hey, I feel like playing Dragon Age Inquisition, which I also have on the Xbox One. But it's like, it's little things like that. I don't tend to, and this is the other funny thing, like, I play more games with people on PC than I do on console.
Oh yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Absolutely same.
I mean, earlier, and by earlier, I mean like half hour before we started recording, I
saw you playing GTA 5.
I was playing GTA 5 with Sanea, and I was basically being a good bodyguard and getting money, because it's double associate payouts. So yeah, and also Deadline doesn't pay out nearly as good, even as a double.
Yeah, no.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah,
it's only because it limits you to first to win 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's only 4 people max.
Yep.
Makes sense.
But yeah, even I lost both rounds and I got like 12 grand, and I'm like, could have done fucking contact missions and made that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I also do a lot more gaming with friends on PC. Again, Kingdom Hearts, which is the video game that got me into like that hardcore got me into video gaming. But part of that is I've lately, since I started streaming, I've got so caught up in interacting with other people.
Yeah.
So it's like, even when I play single player games, I want to be streaming it. But so here's the hassle. This is where my computer is set up and everything is the craft room. My PS4 is in my bedroom. And so I have to go through this whole hassle of bringing it in here, getting everything plugged up, plugging it into the computer,
making sure everything's running right. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I can't stream from my PS4. Well, I can. It's possible to stream from the PS4. It's not up to my standards.
It's only because of the connection. It's only because of the connection strength.
Well, that, which is a big issue, because the last time I tried streaming from my bedroom, it kept
dropping the video.
That was a huge issue. But as far as just the picture quality is, when I've gone back and looked at, and watched the stream or whatever, it's a whole lot more pixely. I don't have the, when I'm streaming from my PS4, I don't have my overlay. I could care less about the face cam, even though I have one set up, but I also have a overlay set up that doesn't have a face cam.
Yeah.
So, if I'm really not feeling the face cam, I don't like the microphone quality. Since I got the new microphone for my headset, is a little bit better, but I still don't like it. I don't like that I can't control it. And that I have no control over any of the sound. Like if the game audio is too loud and it's hard to hear me through the microphone, I can do literally nothing. Yeah. Especially if I have the microphone like right here next to my mouth.
Yeah.
I hate streaming from my PS4. I'll do it in a pinch, but I prefer not to.
Yeah. I mean, I I tried at one point streaming through the Xbox One, and it was a similar debacle. Now, arguably, I could have, and that was before I got my capture card. So,
yeah, and when I lived in the old house and before I got the capture card, I did stream from my PS4 a few times.
But you also had a wired connection to the PS4, though, which you didn't have to worry about signal strength and everything.
Correct. I still had to worry about the whole audio BS, but
I mean, I would take the audio BS as long as the stream looks good, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it is on PS4. Well, one thing that bothers me with PS4 is when it likes to black things out because you're streaming.
Yeah, that's an annoying thing because it does do that when you
get a trophy. Some games, even cutscenes are blacked out. Like
if the cutscene is under copyright or whatever, they will say that it is not that it is streaming microphone audio, but not game audio or game video.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry. Just.
I mean, arguably, that sounds very intrusive to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure because I think Storm's tried streaming from PS4 for Ratchet and Clank.
All the cutscenes.
And it did that to him a lot.
All the cutscenes because
was it all of the cutscenes?
Yeah, and what it came down to was apparently the game and the movie use like all the same cutscenes. So if you just cut out all the gameplay, you have the movie.
And so they.
So I'm guessing it's very cutscene heavy these games, and thus not worth streaming when you think about it.
In some cases, like these cutscene heavy games aren't. But you have that element, and then I'll take myself. I was streaming Quantum Break. At the end of every chapter of Quantum Break, they give you an episode that's they give you an episode that is based on the choices you made in that past chapter.
Okay.
So, like, if you found certain things, they're referenced in the episode. If you made a certain choice at the end of the chapter, that episode is tailored towards that choice. But it's just like
cool.
It's really nice, and it's all live action. So they filmed a lot of shit for that.
So, yeah. Wow.
But I mean, it's just like, I'll take like the first chapter. At the end of it, you're given a choice between taking a hardline stance and killing and having the witnesses killed, or doing a PR campaign to make it seem like the protagonist is the one that kind of set all these things in motion.
Okay.
So either way you do it, it affects that episode. So, I mean, and you'll get different scenes and shit. And I've, at least with chapter 1, I've done it both ways, and it's like, wow. There was a little moment in there in the actual game where there's this blackboard, and I go over to it, and the character that's with the protagonist goes, "They got this all wrong," and he kind of rewrites the stuff. And then in the episode, it's just like, "Did you see that? You remember that formula we couldn't figure out?" And it's just like, yeah, somebody solved it. And it's just like, it's a little thing, and you're like, "Oh,
that's
shit.
Clever."
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, and I mean, they did it very well.
So then, does that go on to affect the rest of the game? Or...
Certain things do. Okay. But I mean, each chapter is broken into 2 parts. Like, you got the main part of it where you're playing as I think his name is Jack. And that's your main character. And once you finish his stuff, then it goes over to the antagonist side. And that's where you make that choice of, do we get rid of the witnesses or do we start a PR campaign to get people against him, for example? There's some interesting choices later on, but it does affect the gameplay later on as well. So, I mean, it's really cool. Plus, I mean, when you're playing Quantum Break and you'll sit there and you'll be playing the first chapter, like let's just say like 2 hours in, and then this episode will play, and you could skip the episode if you want, but I'd much rather let it play, and then I'll sit there and I'll enjoy it with everybody.
Yeah,
because it's part of the game. That's exactly what it is. I mean, that's why I can't get behind the whole like, oh, we're gonna block out cutscenes on the PS4. I know there's a long way of me saying that, but
and if we're gonna be honest, it makes a streamer's job a little easier.
It kind of does, because we can kind of sit back, catch up on chat, talk to them, talk to the community and such. I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, arguably, you get like, 25 minutes from Quantum Break.
Intermission. Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. I treat it like an intermission where it's like, okay, well, this episode's going to play. We're going to hang out, going to kind of get a feel on what's going on. And then once that's done, we'll go back into the next episode. I mean, that's just the way it is. But if I can't even do that for like 2 minutes with a fucking cutscene.
Yeah.
And we take games like Final Fantasy, right? Final Fantasy VII's coming to the PS4, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's supposed to be, but it's very much like the Kingdom Hearts 3, where
when it's
you've been
done.
hearing that it's you've been hearing it's supposed to be coming.
Well, I mean, at least with Kingdom Hearts, they gave us 2018 as a release.
Finally, but there was Kingdom Hearts 3 was originally supposed to be released in, I want to say 2015. And then they pushed it back, and then they pushed it back. I mean, we've been getting teasers on Kingdom Hearts 3 since, Birth by Sleep, honestly, which came out in... Hold on.
I mean, but that's part of the course when it comes to the Kingdom Hearts franchise. What they tend to do...
2010. Birth by Sleep came out in 2010. So, we've been waiting on 3... for 8 years now.
Yeah.
But I know they definitely were talking about having it released several years ago, and then it just kept on being pushed back.
And you say you don't like math.
Okay, but 10 to 18 is not difficult math.
But if we look at the standard Kingdom Hearts formula, you get your main game, then you have 4 or 5 fucking side games, and then you get your next game. Then you get your next main entry. There's people that only know the main entries, so they don't know this whole Battle of the Keys and stuff like that, subplot and all the other stuff, which is apparently a main plot, but people don't know that, so they consider it a subplot. I mean, they don't know half of these characters because they're introduced in Chain of Memories and Birth by Sleep and all the other stuff, and
I mean, you get Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories introduces the nobodies, but you don't know that they're the nobodies. The organization 13, basically. I think the real problem is going to be for the people that didn't have anything to do with Chain of Memories, which is probably less likely with the 1.5, 2.5. And the fact that Chain of Memories is now available on PS4, I feel like there have been people that, will have that storyline added now. But Marluxia from Chain of Memories, who does not appear in Kingdom Hearts 2, because I think, if I remember right, you supposedly kill Marluxia at the end of Chain of Memories or something. I don't remember. It's been so long since I played that game, because I only ever played that game through once. As opposed to the other Kingdom Hearts games. But Marluxia is in 3. Confirmed. It was in the gameplay trailer.
Spoilers.
Well, it's in a trailer. And the trailer's been out for a while.
But still, like, I mean, I'm not gonna go and start talking about stuff that I saw in the Infinity War Super Bowl spot because that's got
No.
spoilers. I mean, that's a thing.
Fair enough.
I mean, also another fair enough moment.
I gauge spoilers a whole lot differently than other people tend to.
Yeah. Another fair enough moment is, okay, so people that have a PS4 that have access to was it 2.5 and 2.8?
Yeah, there's 1.5 and 2.5 which are combined into one game.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one $60 drop. And then there's 2.8, which is like half a game. No, a game and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Which was another $60 I dropped.
Okay. So the people that don't have access to that, which are
Mhm.
going to be the people getting it on the Xbox,
Yeah,
aren't going to know half of this story.
that's very true. See, that's the problem that I have with them releasing it on Xbox and not giving the previous games, because there is a whole lot of lore. Like, I'm not sure how they're going to get the storyline in there. Like how they're going to mesh the storyline, because I don't know. It's going to be very interesting.
And the other thing is, like, you want to look at, like, people are going to say, like, oh, well, this is the better version of the game. You know, it's no matter what.
Well, I mean, it's the newest, so yeah.
Well, I'm not even talking that. I'm just saying, like, oh, well, if you want to play it, you got to play it on the PS4. It's the better version of the game. And you're like, really?
I am fully for anyone that wants to play Kingdom Hearts 3. Whether they want to play it on the PS4 or they want to play it on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I'd like
so
to be
here's
able
the
to play it
thing.
on PC. Just saying.
Yeah, that would be cool too. That would be great too. But here's the thing that's always kind of bothered me about the console elitist
Mm-hmm.
is I don't fall in love with the console. I fall in love with the game.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I'm not going to go buy, like, there was this whole... So when I was considering the Xbox One,
yeah,
I was sitting there and I was like, but I won't have access to 1.5 and 2.5 or 2.8. And so I was like, there had been, I think that was before 2.8 came out, actually, was when I was debating.
was before they announced 2.8.
Yeah, okay. And yeah, because anyway, I sat there and I was like, I had a PS2. I did not have a PS3. And I was like, well, if I get the Xbox One, I can just get myself a PS3 and I'll have 1.5 and 2.5. But then I was also like, I don't want to buy a whole console just for one game.
Arguably, that's what a lot of people do, whether they want to admit it or
I
not.
don't have that kind of money.
No, and I completely understand that.
I'm going to stick with one console unless I become super rich costume designer.
So here
I got an Xbox 360 for Saints Row 1.
See, here's the thing, right? and I say this because this kind of touches back to the whole, you get a console based on where your friends are and the games that you're interested in.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There is a chance that you've purchased a console at one point or another because there was one game that caught your eye.
I mean, yeah. That's why I have my
tipping point.
Yeah. I've got the PS4. But I don't know, like when I'm debating between two, when I already have a like, let's say my parents got me the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Let's say my parents bought me the Xbox One instead of the PlayStation 4, and I didn't turn it into Holzbrook and take it back to exchange, because that's what my parents got. Both of us with PS4. Holzbrook took his PS4 back and exchanged it for an Xbox One.
That makes a lot of sense in my mind.
I mean, yeah, no, it does. That wouldn't even occur to me personally. Like if they had gifted us both Xbox Ones, at no point in time would I would have been like, I'm just going to take this present back and exchange it for something different. When I was a kid, absolutely would have been. I remember throwing a fit because my grandma got Holzbrook a Balto dog and she bought me a doll. And I pitched a fit until she took the doll back and got me a Balto dog. But at the age that I am now, in my 20s, I'm very much you get what you get and you don't pitch a fit. But so like if my parents had given me an Xbox One, I don't think that I would have gone to get, I don't think I would have saved up the money to get myself a PS4 or PS3 just for the Kingdom Hearts games. Like if I've already got one console, I don't.
I can see what you're saying.
At least when I don't have expendable income, I guess.
But I mean that's the big thing there. It's like if hypothetically you didn't have one and you weren't gifted one,
mm-hmm.
and you had the money to purchase one or the other, it would have essentially come down to Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, yeah, Kingdom Hearts and Uncharted. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, I mean, right there, that's...
There was that temptation of the Sunset Overdrive, because that looked like a fun...
Oh, it is so fucking fun.
And I still kind of wish that... I mean, I guess I could always buy it and steal Holzbrook's Xbox, but he's going to be moving out in the near future, and I'm not buying that.
Gotcha.
I'm not dropping $60 or whatever on a game that I won't be able to.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, one thing I would say is, I mean, this also comes down to value, because on the PlayStation, you have the PS Now service, which is $20 a month.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking pricey.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, oh yeah, you can basically download these games, play them, and stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty cool, in that sense. And then on the Xbox side, you have Xbox Game Pass, which is $10 a month, and it's essentially the same thing, except for the games are different because we can't have like the Uncharted games on an Xbox, and
right. Well, but do you have to? I know with the 360, you had to have an internet connection and pay for Xbox Live.
You technically need to do that for the PS4 as well.
It's included in the PS Now. So that $20 is basically your Xbox Live, plus it's that access to those games. Like you can get it where it's just the online connection and you don't have the PS Now.
Because I was looking at it, and I was looking at it myself because apparently with PlayStation Now, which is different from PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where we're getting a little crossed on this. Because PlayStation Plus is I can play games online with people as well as get free games every month. Xbox Live Gold has that same thing. And I mean, that's a different animal in itself.
Right.
PlayStation Now is essentially their game rental service.
Okay, then maybe I'm not subscribed to PS.
Yeah, PS Now is something completely different.
I'm going into PayPal to check and see.
It's probably Plus.
It's also $20, which is where I'm getting thrown off.
Yeah. But yeah, the Xbox has Xbox Game Pass, and it's $10 a month, which is pretty cool.
That just says Sony Entertainment.
Yep.
That doesn't help me at all.
And they give you a whole bunch of games that you can download and play. Like, it's over 100 titles or some shit, which is pretty cool. And, basically now, whenever a new first-party Xbox game comes out, it's going to be on that service. So I'll take like the big one, Sea of Thieves. That's the next one that comes out. Comes out, I think, next month. That the day it launches in stores for $60. If you have PlayStation, if you have Xbox Game Pass, you can download it and play it, and which is pretty nice. Like I'd much rather spend $10 on a game in that sense and play a game not knowing if I'm gonna like it than pay $60 and go, well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they've already said, like, oh well, all future, and they're working on trying to get all the current first party games on there as well. So games like Sunset Overdrive should be on that service. So
I'm still trying to find this out because now I have the need to know. PlayStation. No, this is for a PlayStation Now subscription.
Then you should be able to download games onto your PlayStation. I'm confusing the two. To be able to download games on there, such as Yakuza 4 and 5, and there's a bunch of games, but I know there's the two that stuck out to me.
The point is, there's good services whether you've got a Playbox or a PlayStation.
I just want to be. I'm now having to go make sure because I'm pretty sure that's all I get charged for. It's just the one thing of.
Unless you do a yearly on the PlayStation Plus.
I don't think so. I'll figure it out later.
Yeah. I'm just gonna look at this.
Spending too much money on my PlayStation.
Just seeing if this is on there because this might be a way for you to not drop like $30 on Sunset Overdrive. Sunset Overdrive is part of Xbox Game Pass.
Okay.
And unlike PlayStation Now, they give you a 14-day trial. Whereas PlayStation Now gives you a 7-day trial. I've looked into this because apparently you can play PlayStation Now games on your PC as well.
Oh, cool.
So, as somebody that doesn't have a PS4, I can get PlayStation Now and play some of those games on my PC. But once again, $20 a month, which is a bit steep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Especially if you're paying out to other services like your I mean even if your Play Pass isn't all that much.
Yeah.
Compared to
I will say this much. This episode, like, it's funny because we've always talked about how a lot of times it's going to be me and Balen talking a lot. It's been me and Ray talking a lot.
Because you're talking about consoles.
Well, we're talking we're talking about specific things.
Yeah.
And it's just and
okay, you're talking about consoles and Kingdom Hearts. So
yeah, fair enough.
It's a good game series and I adore it.
I don't like the Disney main characters very much, and I don't like Final Fantasy, so where does that leave me?
Fair.
Yeah. No, that's legitimately fair.
Yeah.
I see now. I don't like Final Fantasy. Here's the thing. I hate the Final Fantasy games.
Now,
the only one that I've heard that I might actually like is the. I want to say newest, but I also don't want to say newest.
Is it the one where they're driving in a car for like 10 hours?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a new one.
That one, the
15.
I don't know what number it's on, 15. Because it has a gameplay that's more similar to Kingdom Hearts. I hate the Final Fantasy. I hate turn-by-turn games.
You know what? I actually
them.
really like turn-based.
I love turn-based. The oh god, can't think of the XCOM series.
Yeah,
that's a great series for that.
Oh yeah, even if you're right next
for Master of Orion.
Yeah, turn-based strategy. That's
completely different.
4X games belong in turn-based strategy. Yeah. Although Stellaris is a good example of a game that doesn't do that. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I'll take XCOM real quick because we've all had anybody that's played this game has had this moment. Enemies right in front of you. Your point blank range. You have a 99% hit.
Yes.
Fail.
Yeah. Yeah. That one, man. That one will mess you up.
Yep. And it's not the first time you've missed either. With a at least a 90%. And then you have like some weird like 5% shot you take and it's a fucking critical and you're like, what the fuck? My guy had a shotgun in his face and missed.
Yep.
How?
Wow.
Yeah. XCOM's brutal that way.
It has a random dice roll, and it will stick to those rules no matter how silly it is.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah. Fair. I mean,
I don't mind turn-based games at all. I kind of grew with them. So, I mean, that's what we had.
Yeah.
It allows you to be a bit more strategic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what I like about it.
And that's fair. I'd say the only turn-based game that I enjoyed beyond like turn-based strategy games like Master of Orion. I mean, I liked Pokemon as a kid, and that's turn-based. But I was never one of those strategic players. I was literally I would sit there and I would just button mash.
So
I would get it to the attack that I wanted, and I would just go for that.
So we're forgetting about one specific type of turn-based game that we all have history with. Role-playing games.
Yep.
Okay, yes.
They're turn-based.
That's fine too. that I'm fine with too. Well, but that's partially because we're doing it vocally and I'm not sitting there. So last time I tried playing a Final Fantasy game, where's my... was literally, I was just sitting there going, staring up at the ceiling.
Well, how long were you playing for? Because that has something to do with it too.
Not super long.
Okay, so you're still in the tutorial. Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, I was out of the tutorial and into like the prologue of the story. I did.
So you were still in the tutorial.
Fair enough.
Because there's one Final Fantasy game. I think it's 13. It turned a lot of people off from the series.
I don't know which one I played. It was whichever one that my roommate had.
It might. How long ago was this?
13.
Yeah.
I mean, this was when I lived in North Carolina. So
Final Fantasy 13's like tutorial, quote unquote, like they give you the tutorial, and then like there's the game. Well, okay, so the game stops teaching you stuff like 50 hours in.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. So that's why I asked, like, how long were you in there? And you're like, not. I got through the tutorial, and I'm just like, no, you didn't.
I looked it up. I don't reckon. Well, no. I don't think it was 13. I'm trying to see if there's any characters here that I recognize, but then again, I was in the prologue. So I don't know if all the characters continue on throughout the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and I own Final Fantasy X
because of the Roxas, right?
Tidus.
Oh,
him.
Yeah.
That's every character for me. Oh, him. Him and his stupid sword that's actually a surfboard.
Yeah.
That was 7 and that was Cloud.
Yep, I know.
Mm-hmm.
That I do know.
But yeah, no, Tidus, because Tidus is one of the island characters in Kingdom Hearts 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out that he was in one of the Final Fantasy games. That was the first Final Fantasy game that I ever played. And I will say I did get decently far in that game on my PlayStation 2, but I had to be in just the right kind of mood. And usually that was at a time in my life when I played games for the story, not for the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
So I could forgive the annoyance. I was never good at the strategy. I've never been good at the strategy of turn-based games. I've always just been, well, I mean, I feel like Cadfan is even evident in this. It's just chuck a fireball at it. Occasionally Cadfan will try to diplomatize out.
I mean, arguably things are weak to fire, so.
No, I mean, yeah. I almost want to say that Final Fantasy X, I starred through it.
Were you just walking around stabbing shit in the fucking face?
Yeah. I mean, basically, that's how it ended up going. Was I would just sit there. The first attack that was on my list, if I had the mana for it, I was doing it.
Yeah,
I mean, that was how I played the Final Fantasy games. I've heard that 15 is more the style that I like to play.
Mm-hmm.
I like the where you just swing it.
You're more the hack and slash than the.
I am the hack and yeah, I'm very much a hack and slash.
Yeah, you're more about the hack and slash than the strategy of it. However, even in hack and slash, you do have to deal with some strategy. Like, okay, so like, this is like the way I look at it. I like to plan my moves ahead. And I mean, this might also be a reason why you have a problem with Chain of Memories. Or because, like, yeah, it's a card-based thing. So, like, you got to plan your moves ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But I also... It's nice to be like, okay, I did this. I know that this does more damage than any other attack I do to it. Because he has a weakness to it.
Mm-hmm.
So let me do that attack again, and then my next turn I'll use, because I'm going to take damage, and I know that. Let me use some potion that's going to give me some mana and some health back, so I can go and hit that attack again.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's just like that, and it's not even like super strategic, but it's just like, okay, I have a moment to breathe and actually think, as opposed to being like, fuck, what am I doing? No. Now
I will say the most recent run through of Kingdom Hearts that I did with where for the good portion of it, Boo and I were playing at the same time as we raced.
Yep.
I was better about the strategy, like making sure to use arrow and try to use some of the magic stuff. I've never been good about using. I'm a hack and slasher, but I got a little bit better about using the magic. Still not great.
Yeah, it's understandable, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It may be just kind of what you came up with, you know.
Well, and it could even have something to do with generational, because I'm very much of that generation that's, what is it, instant gratification or whatever. You get a lot more instant gratification with hack and slash with turn-based, I feel like.
Well, I mean, it's just, as much as I enjoy having like the instant gratification, I mean, hell, that's one of the reasons why I do Twitch. is because I get the instant feedback and everything like that, you know? I don't mind playing the long game. You know, I don't mind planning out like 6 moves ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of like when we're sitting at a table, a digital table, and playing a digital role-playing game on a digital tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
When a battle happens or a situation happens, now me as the player, and this is where it's a little different though, because me as the player, I have to strategize ahead on what's going to happen, and then I also have to guess what everybody else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
And playing those turn-based games growing up has helped me do that to a point.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, when I'm playing the character, I can't be like, okay, my character should do this. Because when I do that, then it's not my character anymore. It's me being the character.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I want to, you know, like, if Starin strategize shit, that wouldn't be Starin.
Yeah.
Right.
So here's something funny I just thought about. Ray, you say you don't like all the planning and strategy that goes into playing a turn-based game, yes?
Correct.
The heist.
Beyond that, when we play GTA, what is your preferred combat mode?
Sniping.
Bingo! That's turn-based. When
know.
you think about it, that is as turn-based as you can get. We're all up there running and gunning, and you're sitting back carefully taking aim, waiting, sniping, reloading, and doing it again.
It's different. It's different.
No, it's really not.
No, it's not.
It's different to me. It's different to me.
Sniping is delayed gratification to a T.
But with sniping, like I'm constantly moving. I'm not sitting there just staring at the ceiling and button mashing the X button.
You're sitting there staring at a scope and waiting for your moment to snipe. I mean,
wow, that's true. That's true.
I just think that's kind of odd.
I love sniping, and I love, like you said, the heists.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out there, and I have planned out our heist.
Yes.
Granted, they're loosely planned because obviously things are going to go different in the moment, but they are absolutely planned.
It was just something that struck me as funny. You're sitting there, I went, wait a minute, you're the sniper of the group.
Yeah, which
right.
is funny, legitimately, because personally, I mean, as much as once again, I enjoy the instant gratification to a point.
Yeah.
But I prefer to be more strategic in my methods.
Yep.
But I'm the first one to grab a claw hammer and start beating pedestrians.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm whipping out the assault shotgun and just spraying a room down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. I think it depends on the... Well, okay, and see, here's the thing. If we were playing... Like, if GTA, if there was, like, medieval GTA or something, fantasy GTA, where we're limited to swords and magic, I would absolutely be in there with the sword, just going to town. If I have a gun or something, I will automatically default to sniping and taking my time.
So I'm hearing when Red Dead 2 comes out for PC, like 6 months after release on consoles, you're going to be basically the group sniper. Gotcha.
Probably. I mean, that's what I defaulted to in Borderlands, was I went with Zero the sniper.
Nice.
Granted, that did not go well for me, but I played with the wrong people. I played with the people that just go on and don't wait.
Yeah. Oh. It's been a nice long episode, guys.
Yeah.
Almost 2 hours.
Yep. We're at hour 50 right now.
Yeah.
Oh. So before
last one was 147, if I remember.
Something like that, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so guys it's been a very great discussion we've had.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys have enjoyed what we've done, what we've talked about, or our points on things, you can always check us out at twitch.tv/DorkyRae, twitch.tv/Thrabalen, and twitch.tv/ToddEvf. We're usually doing stuff. You can also catch us on Twitter as well. It's in the description or on the scroll in the video feed. So, but thank you guys. You guys have been great. Ray, as always, it's been a lot of fun. Balen, same.
Enjoyed it.
Till next time, guys. We'll catch you then. Later.